California's Gold is produced in association with KCET Los Angeles and is seen statewide on California Public Television. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association. Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser. Get ready for an adventure, because right now we're heading out across the ocean. Our destination is Santa Cruz Island, which is about 20 miles out there. Now we're going to be spending all day on Santa Cruz, but what makes this adventure just a little bit different is that we're not going to actually be on the island. We're going to be inside Santa Cruz Island. It's going to be a lot of fun and educational too. So get ready for a day inside Santa Cruz Island in search of California's gold. We got over to Santa Cruz Island on a catamaran operated by Island Packers out of Ventura. And after we dropped off a large group of students who were going to spend a day exploring the island, we set off on our own adventure, which would take us inside the island. Okay, we have left the big boat and we are in the water. Here's Santa Cruz Island in front of us, and Garrett, this is the... You know, I said we were going to be visiting the island, but we weren't going to be on the island. We were going to be inside the island. Let everybody know what exactly that means. Where are we heading right now?
We're heading into one of the 120 sea caves on Santa Cruz Island. We are on the north side of Santa Cruz. These are all erosional sea caves, which means they were formed through many years, through the wind, waves, currents, and pretty much basic, very fragile rock formations. This was all magma, lava rock. They call it Santa Cruz lava rock, and it's very unique to this area, and it's only found on this north side of this island.
Look at these, and these are called sea caves. Now, is this kind of unique to Santa Cruz Island, or are there sea caves on other Channel Islands in California?
There are sea caves on other Channel Islands in California. Santa Cruz holds a very large population of sea caves, and as well Anacapa Island to our east holds a very large population of sea caves.
Boy, look at this. When you come up under and in this thing, are we going to go in here?
You're right, you got it, Huell. We're heading straight towards that little hole. Better throw on that helmet. Keep your head safe.
So wait a minute, you got to wear a helmet?
You do. Here, I'll hand it to you.
Why is that?
Well, we want to make sure that you don't hit your head on the rocks, and like I said, these are very fragile rocks formed through cold water eruption, and they've been underwater for so long, they're very fragile, and things like just birds landing on them can set them off and set them into the water.
Now, is this considered a big cave? How does this compare to the other 119 caves?
Well, each one of them has its own little special beauty, and every one of them is big, every one of them is small. They just all have their own special characteristics. This one here, as you look straight up, you can see a little bit of crack in the ceiling. Some of these were created by the separation of the rock, also fueled by aquifers or springs dripping down into this crack.
Boy, this is... And does this go... Oh, look, there's light at the end of the cave. Ha! So now, this just cuts right through one of the rocks on the island.
Yeah, this is, we're in Cochi Point area on the north side of Santa Cruz towards the east end.
Look at this. Oh, this is great.
Hey, you see that water dripping down from the ceiling up here? That's actual natural spring water, and that's, like I said, that's part of the reason these caves are formed.
Look at the color of the water when the light hits it. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, we're out of one cave. in this kind of, what is this, like a cove back in here?
Yeah, it's a beautiful cove with very crystal clear water, lots of kelp, beautiful intertidal zones over here, and another cave.
Now, is this cave, I mean, how do you know what you're getting into when you get into one of these things?
Well, it's very tough, and it's good to be an experienced paddler out here, or go to somebody who has experience. These caves can be very deceiving, like this one where you come up and it looks very large from a distance, and then you get closer and closer, and it dead ends.
This is it.
This is about it. But there's caves that come in like this, and then all of a sudden there's a little crack off to the left, and you can go back another 100 or 200 feet.
So this, here, let's go over this way, because this will give us an opportunity to really look at the, can we get right up to the rock itself?
Yeah.
Whoa, look at this. We're right up on this rock, and this is very hard rock. What is this?
Well, this is lava rock. This is Miocene lava rock, formed about 20 million years ago when the ocean shelf and the northern continental shelves meet, and lava spewed through the cracks in the ocean floor and over the existing islands and then land masses.
Wow, this is great. Now see, if I was out here by myself, I'd want to go back in there. How do we know there's not something back in here?
Well, it's very important is to stay within your limits at all times. All of these caves have been charted. In 1980, there was about a 4-year expedition to chart all of these caves. So you can read a book, and that'll tell you how far these caves will actually go.
But it looks to me like there's a hole back here.
Hey, you want to go check it out?
Well, I mean, I trust you, but
it doesn't go much further than you can actually see.
Wow, this is so neat back up in here.
Just make sure you lean back.
What do you mean lean back?
Lean back so we can see the ceiling of the cave.
Oh my gosh, it gets dark back here very quickly. All right, we are positioning ourselves to go into yet another cave. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like this. It is so eerie. Wait a minute, we're going in here? Oh my gosh. Now wait a minute, I'm going to hit my head right here.
Watch your head.
Whoa.
Make sure you lean back, not forward.
We are in the cave. And if we didn't have our cave lights on right now, we wouldn't be able to see anything back here. And it would be very, well, I guess you just follow the water, don't you, Garrett?
You sure do. Actually, this really nice thing is the current takes you almost where you want to be in these caves. Just a little bit of momentum and you'll coast all the way through. Your eyes can adjust. It takes a little bit of time.
So wait a minute, we were going to go right through here, but the tide is up so far we can't get underneath there. Yep. So we got to turn back around and go back the way we came. I've never backed out of a sea cave before.
See, we got a lot of firsts on the list today.
Boy, we are moving. I can't wait to get home and look at this. Because I am so swept up in the moment right now. It's going to be fun to look at it again. These things go on forever. There are miles of these caves back here, aren't there?
That one goes underwater for a long time.
All right, we're heading back out. That was fun. Okay, we're coming out of the cave, and here's the little handheld camera that I was using inside to get those shots because our regular camera was too big to even go back in that sea cave. But now we're out and ready to go to another cave. And I got to tell you, Garrett, after being in there, it's kind of nice to be out too. It's a whole nother feel when you're out here.
Oh, it's another world.
Now, where do we go?
Peaceful.
Are we going to go down this end of the island?
Yeah, we're going to head west a little bit further in this area, and that's Cochee Point up to our left. It's straight ahead now.
So 2 caves down, 118 caves to go.
Yep, 116 on the north side.
Now, we can't go through here, can we?
Why, of course we can.
No, but I mean, the little entrance down oh, the sound. Wait a minute, we're not going through this.
Sure are, hold on. Keep that paddle in tight.
Whoa. Look at this. Whoa.
The hard part's over.
Look at this thing hanging down here.
You can almost use your imagination and figure out what kind of conditions created these caves. The story behind the rocks.
Oh, look at this.
All those purples and the greens. Mwah, ah, 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 ah.
Wow. That was a good cave. What was the name of that cave?
I don't know, you want to name it?
It doesn't have a name?
Oh, you can name it.
Well, we'll call it the Golden Cave, the California's Golden Cave.
California's Golden Cave it is.
Put that on the map. I don't know whether you all can tell her or not, but we're having a good time out here. But what is not to love about this? Beautiful day out here on the ocean and discovering some caves that I'd only read about before today. Are most people just blown away at what they see when they go inside these things?
Yeah, it's for a lot of people, this is their first experience with anything like this.
What do they comment on the most? What are people taken by the most?
You know, people actually really like the sounds as well.
Yeah.
It can kind of get people's, spark their imaginations once you get those booms and the echoes. But just the natural beauty, the clarity of the water, how far we can go back into some of these caves. It really blows people's minds that we can, like you saw that crack and we went into it.
Yeah.
And that, for a lot of people, that's just not something they would dare to do on their own.
I wouldn't be doing this if you weren't here.
Well, luckily I've done it before.
Have the sea caves ever been used for anything? Have they ever had a practical purpose?
Well, for the most part, no. I'm sure the Chumash, the Native Americans, used them for entertainment purposes such as we do. It's speculated back during Prohibition in the early 1920s and 30s that there was smuggling going on in these caves.
Oh, come on.
Maybe.
You mean taking alcohol back in there?
Yeah, throwing keggers.
Bootlegging alcohol in the caves?
Yeah. Well, it's all speculation, but it is possible.
It's a good story. You have to entertain your guest with some kind of story. That's a good one.
We're always looking for that mystery keg.
Yeah. Well, the caves themselves kind of conjure up. They kind of cry out for stories, for myths, for legends, don't they?
Well, you know, Huell, they say Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, the original discoverer of California, was buried somewhere on these Channel Islands, and with him his treasure.
Now that's a good story.
Maybe one day we'll find it.
Okay, we have met up with a National Parks ranger. Does that mean we're here without the right permits? Are you busting us? What's going on over here?
Well, welcome to Channel Islands, first of all, Huell.
Why am I so negative? I got worried there for a minute. You're
out on patrol.
Your name is?
My name is Mike Morales.
All right, you heard we were out here today.
That's right, I did.
And really, this is a perfect opportunity for you to talk just a little bit about what an asset this is to the National Park Service and to the people of California.
It's a great place. It's wild California, first of all. It's close to, what, 13 million people that live about 20 miles from here.
Yeah.
So it's an outstanding resource on the island itself, and then, of course, the marine resources in combination.
Well, let's talk a little bit about these sea caves, because we have had an amazing experience in there today. These things are kind of hidden from the general population. I had never really been over here in the caves until today, and I've lived in California 25 years.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of people are discovering them. Access out to the islands is a lot easier now than it used to be. And I overheard Garrett say that a lot of the island is open to the public now, which is true, being the National Park Service. The eastern end of Santa Cruz Island is open to the public, public domain. So more people are coming out and discovering what we have out here, they have out here.
And what kind of feedback are you getting from people when they come back from these cave adventures like we've had?
Oh, they love it. It's a great time. They really enjoy being out, seeing the resources, seeing the wildlife, all the things that are precious and special to this particular national park.
Yeah,
and also
what about the caves themselves?
The caves themselves are a surprise for a lot of people, an adrenaline rush for a lot of people. So they, in addition to the wildlife observations and the rest of it, getting in the caves is a big thrill.
Okay, now we're kayaking with the ranger, because we're heading down. Where are we going to have lunch, Garrett?
Potato Harbor.
Potato Harbor. And none too soon, because all this kayaking, we've worked up an appetite. Look at this. Look what you look at when you're kayaking on the side of Santa Cruz Island and looking up at these huge mountains, which the ranger, how high did you say you think these are?
About 300, 400 feet.
300 or 400 feet up. Everything out here is bigger than life, and a new experience for you when you're out here in the water. This is truly a California treasure out here. Okay, it's lunchtime and our crew is hard at work consuming all of our sandwiches. I don't think there are going to be any left for us, Mike, but you've stuck with us because you wanted to talk a little bit about what we're looking at right now in Potato Cove?
Potato Harbor.
Potato Harbor, and this is another one of these beautiful places, and we're here today, and we're the only people here. I would have expected a place like this as close to the millions of people in Southern California to be packed with people.
Well, we're a few miles out from the primary spot where people come ashore. So this is a good 3.5 miles paddle to get over here. So.
Yeah, but we're in another world over here today.
That's what makes it really special, is the solitude that you can get when you come out here.
Yeah, I don't know whether the camera picks it up or not, but we've got this just crystal clear water. There's no sound at all except the sound of the birds and the water washing in on shore. And we're looking out at this beautiful landscape here. This is really what the Channel Islands are all about, isn't it?
Exactly. It gives people the opportunity to come out and experience wilderness, solitude. Exactly.
All right, now we've finished lunch and our first adventure is going through this little, what do you call this thing, Garrett?
It's like an arch right here in the point.
Just a little arch right out on the point. So we've been through the arch, and now we're heading for the final part of our adventure right over there, because these look like some of the biggest and most interesting caves on the island. Am I right?
You are right. This is an amazing cave. It's called Surging T. It is 3 caves that intersect and meet. And during the northwest swells, we can have a very large wave that rolls through this entire cave. In fact, you can come back here and surf a wave all the way through this cave.
There are the caves right over there that we're going in right now. More of this amazing aquamarine colored water here, and another grand entrance into a cave. In fact, I think this is about the grandest entrance we've seen, isn't it?
It's very large, very large. And you can see here the water is actually very shallow, which is much different than the caves we've been in so far. And with a little bit of a surge, this can turn up a pretty nice wave, surf it all the way through. This one's got some amazing sounds once we get through towards the center of the cave. The echoes, the booms.
Boy, you can move through this thing too. Oh, this is great.
Here's the T.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, look at this. Are we going this way?
We can go either way.
Look at this. There's a T so that when you get here, you've got a choice of going through the cave over here or the cave out there. Look at this one over here. We're looking right out through this T over here. That's how it got its name. So which way are we going to go?
I'll let that up to you.
Well, I'll tell you this much. This could give you a headache that you'd remember for a long time right here if you weren't looking for it. Let's go out this way.
All right.
It's such a rush to come shooting through these caves.
So which one was your favorite today?
You know, I was just trying to figure that out, because we've been in a lot of caves. I'm not sure if it was the caves themselves as much as just the whole experience of being here, because it's kind of a package deal, you know? The caves, the setting of the caves, the water, the sound of the water, the isolation of this place, the sense of adventure when you go in the caves and come out of the caves. It's really quite a special place, isn't it?
It is. It's been a pleasure having you here.
This has been a lot of fun. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, fellas. There's our helper over here. He was actually along in case we tipped over or had an emergency, right? You didn't trust me that we could have made it through the day.
Of course I didn't.
Our ranger has been with us. Once you hook up with a ranger, he pretty well stays with you all day. So he's become part of this group too. The three of us have had an amazing day out here exploring the sea caves of Santa Cruz Island. These amazing caves that have been here for literally millions of years and are still here today. Fine examples of California's gold. Hope you've had as much fun as we have traveling through these sea caves of Santa Cruz Island. Now let's go back to the big boat and back to shore. Well, hello everybody. I'm Huell Hauser, and what a wonderful day we had exploring the sea caves of Santa Cruz Island. They are fine examples of California's gold. And if you'd like to go on this adventure again or share it with your family and friends, it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727 and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.